Good Sunday morning, everybody. John here, Hot Rods in the Woods. So I watch a humble bumble play around next to my shelves there. And I've got a few things that are happening. Number one, if you look at my last video, you'll see that I had the ICT. Whoa, what's going on with my camera? Oh, it doesn't like this battery, I don't think. It definitely didn't like that battery. Buy true GoPro ones, not the cheap garbage off of the interwebs. Anyway, everything turned purple. You saw that little flash. All of a sudden, the whole screen went weird, and I yanked the battery out. So anyway, I have changed the bracketry. This is the new CVF system. And if you look at it, much closer together, just sweeter, makes the engine look bigger. I'm getting rid of that AC compressor, went to that little peanut one down there, so I'll be changing those hoses. Raising the radiator up so it's above the upper thermostat housing, so I don't have to have two caps, which constantly caused issues. I'd get a bubble up in the top there, and I couldn't get rid of it, so it just worked weird. So we aren't doing that anymore. Now I know that I could go and put it in the back and blah blah blah, but that ain't happening. So I need the weight in the front. So one more episode of you can do it without a CAD program, a CNC, plasma cutter table or anything, and you can make brackets that will work for stuff. So let me show you how this is going to work. You can see I roughed out a piece of tape on the front fender there because we're going to go ahead and make it tilt a little different than it used to. So let me swap hands here, and I'll show you how I'm thinking this is going to work. Picture this, if you will. I'm using the existing original pedestal from the old tilt assembly that I built, and I'm putting this in its place. And what this will do is it will roll forward, and the nose will sit right here on the bumper. Kind of hard to show with one hand, but then it will roll up and be in place. So I made 4 of these, and the reason I did, I know how much I hate these jerky and nervous videos, but I'm kind of spread out here today. So the reason I made 4 is this is 1/4 inch plate. I haven't decided if I want to go ahead and weld 2 together and make it 1/2 inch, or if I want to put a piece of 1 inch in between it and kind of make it like a box tubing. I'm not sure yet, but that's the plan. I should have that done this week in my spare time. The neatest thing about it is it's going hydraulic. And here's what I've got. I actually started polishing this one a little bit. These are hydraulic rams and a pump out of a 98 Mustang convertible. I know it's Ford, but it is. It's just the right stuff. And the reason it's the right stuff, as you know, I had shown earlier I was going to try and do it with the Chrysler assembly. The problem with the Chrysler is it has 5 rams. Now, those 5 rams are timed so that the first one unlocks the front. The second one lifts it. The third one rolls it all back in the back. So in order to figure out how to time all them just to tilt the front end forward, I was going to make it slide forward like the old one did and then roll. I was going to see if I couldn't make a latch in the top that would work with the other one. And anyway, it just got too messy. And you'd have hoses everywhere. This one, I can mount right down here on that flat cross member, the pump. My rams will come up right alongside here and be just about totally out of the way. And I'll just be able to hit a button. I'll have to pull the pins in the back, but that just makes it so much easier. The problem with this front end is, as I've said in the past, not only is it serious metal, Is my webbing here that I built long ago. I mean, this is some sheet metal here. It is heavy. One of these fenders is, well, you know you're picking up something. And with the bumper in place, I had to keep that smiley face with the teethies. It kind of looks like a cartoon monster. But by keeping that, I had to come up over top of it somehow. And in a rush and overthinking and over designing everything, I made it so the whole front end slid forward almost a foot and then went up and went over top of center. The problem with that is getting it over top of center, I had to reach all the way back to the scoop hole, pull it up over the top. Now getting it back on, I had to physically pick the entire front end straight up over the bumper, then flip it down and slide it in. It was ridiculous. It worked. It was cool when it was open. Made it real easy to work on stuff, but not so much. So, moving along, back to our bracketry. This is, as I said, the CVF system. It is not cheap. It is gorgeous. I have no complaints. The only complaint I would say that I had is I actually had to polish it a little bit. Apparently, after they're done, they rinse all of the shavings off, polish everything up. It did have a few water spots on it. I'm gonna get used to polishing it anyway, right? I always said chrome don't get you home, and it doesn't make anything faster, but it sure does look good. So, okay, there's that. Once again, working on getting our radiator level and above the thermostat housing. There you go. So we're above it. If anybody's interested, I do have the ICT alternator and AC brackets that I'll be selling because I don't think I have any use for those at this point. It all depends on what I build next. I also have an ICT big block Chevrolet power steering pump bracket. If anybody needs it, message me and we'll try and get together. The alternator and AC brackets are like $100 a piece with shipping. I'll take $100 for the pair. The alternator or the power steering pump bracket about the same, I think, and I'll take $50 for it just to get it going. They said they'd take it back. I ordered it for the 409 and the 1930 Model A that I work on because it said it would fit on a 409, and I called the guy back and he said, "Oh no, the 409 is totally different." I said, "I know." He said, "Well, just send it back. We'll give you your money back." And I thought, you know what? Somebody needs it and we can help somebody out. So there's a couple other things that may be moving down the road. If anybody's interested, I have I don't remember what this one is. I'll have to look. But I do have some manifolds laying around. This is a marine power version of the Edelbrock. We've got all sorts of stuff. I've got another tunnel ram. Anyway, I'm losing track. So I'm going to work on that. And right now, as it stands, I did not make my first set of car shows this weekend, but we're trying for next week. Hopefully I'll have the door panels done, the seats in, and be rocking and rolling with some new AC. And I got to show you. So I actually lied because I had said it was my wife's first attempt at upholstery when she did my first seat. But the truth is she made these door panels for me real quick to make the power tour last year. So that was her first attempt, and they're okay. We didn't know that there was a place. Well, when did she make these? I think she made these. We were still in Florida. Yeah, I'm sure of it. So that's been 2.5 years ago. Anyway, this is the new panel. So obviously, this is going to be much nicer and very cool. I love it. I love it. And those of you that say, well, the color ain't right, I know. This to me is it's hard to even see in this camera. Does it work better over here? Now see, that looks a lot more blue, and it really is. I guess that's about the best. It's kind of a goo-gooey aquamarine teal color, which is much brighter than the car. But they did use a color very similar to that in the 50s on Chrysler, so I may end up going kind of in that direction. I don't know. We'll see. But they don't have anything that was close. I'm not a big fan of green, and this is green, but the car is the way it is, and it's going to stay that way until I decide how far I'm going to go with it after this power tour and this season of shows and stuff. So that's all I've got for today. We'll be moving on. I'll be getting some more stuff going. I'll make a video here in the next day or so, actually putting on the front end. I've got to mount the radiator again because I changed all the bracketry, but the condenser is going to stay in the same place. This just worked out really slick with the tabs and all. So, and then this is the old bracket that I had for the radiator. I'll probably be using parts of it and figure out a new way, maybe triangulate it to the top of the frame and then run a short brace to the front. So there you have it. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Be safe. Today is Thanksgiving in April here. We're actually going to cook a turkey. Bought them on sale during the holidays when they were cheap. And now it's time for a turkey. We're thinking it's time for a turkey day. So I'll be drinking beer and eating turkey later today. Hope you all have a wonderful time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I can really use it. Algorithm, blah, blah, blah. Bye for now. Hey, I'm back. John here, Hot Rods in the Woods. Finally got her all buttoned up. Kind of give you a little bit of a look at how it all came together. So I'm using this box tubing once again because I really like it. It's plenty strong. It moves the whole car. So what I've done is I welded it into the same brace that I used originally for the radiator and the AC condenser. AC condenser stayed in the same place. Try and get it so you can see the angle of that. That way it's down and out. Still have good grill air placement through the radiator. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave that front fan on. Now that I've got it up and not hiding behind the bumper, it may actually work better and cool better. So we'll see. If I need to use that, it's there. I can flip a switch and add additional cooling. I do have these two in the back. I've debated as to how good they are. We'll see. But so that's that Mickey Mouse upper radiator hose thing there, all set to go. I've got everything buttoned. She's solid. So now the next thing to do, I had the wrong fitting for the AC compressor. When they aimed down this way, and there wasn't a way that I could get to the charge port to charge them. So I've got a new fitting coming. Then I'll make the new AC hoses. In the meantime, I just leave them. I have a vacuum pump. So I also have a new ventilation system for the engine. I'm going to go ahead and put a tank on it so that both breathers go into it, and then I'll have a vacuum going back to the motor. This thing does make mediocre vacuum, but it's a little bit, so it's not going to hurt, right? It'll evacuate it a little bit. What else? That's about it at this point. I have finally removed my Michel Mousset seats, so now I'll get back to redesigning this whole mess. I did find on good old Facebook Marketplace a complete roll bar kit. And the plan there is I'm going to go ahead and at least get a loop bar and a couple supports for it. I don't know if I'm going to use a windshield bar at this point. I'd have to get it bent, so we'll see. But a little safety never hurts, right? These, I mean, this is a very old car. It's built like a rock. However, it also was kind of a rusty rock. So you don't know how much structure's there. Obviously, this is a pretty good piece, but we know it's been cut and welded up here. You know, the doors have been welded, so it also gives me attachment points for my seat belt. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And that's from where we're at this point. Everything else seems to be working real well. I'll get these cut off today so that I can go ahead and mount my brackets, and hopefully this weekend get the tilt front end getting closer. If not, it'll be next week. So there you have it for today. Onward and upward. This is Friday. Hope you guys have had a great weekend, depending on when I get to upload this video. I did one last night. I did a little short video of a 68 Chevelle last night. So we'll see. I need to get back on schedule and get you guys some stuff that you can actually stand. We'll catch you later. Bye.